Find the coordinates of the x-intercepts of the quadratic graph with equation y equals x squared plus 10x plus 21. If I just do a little sketch of this quadratic graph. Now, a quadratic graph, I'm not exactly sure where it goes, but I know that it looks something like this and it crosses the x-axis at 2 points. Now don't forget the x-axis, so the x-intercepts means where does it cross the x-axis. Now don't forget that the x-axis is actually the equation y equals 0, because every point on the x-axis, every coordinate, the y part is 0. So I'm going to swap in this equation the y to be 0. So I've got 0 is equal to x squared plus 10x plus 21. Now we've come across this before. If I want to solve this, then I'm going to have to factorise. I'm going to have to put it into brackets. So let's have a go at this now. So I need to use my grid method. I know that here there's going to be an x squared, which means that this is x and this is x, because x times x is x squared. And I know that this is going to be plus 21. Now I know that this number here times by this number here is going to be 21. So that's when I start listing my factor pairs of 21. So 1 times 21, 2 doesn't go into it, 3 times 7, 4 doesn't, 5 doesn't, 6 doesn't, and then 7 will be repeating ourselves. So then I need to pick the factor pair, because these two numbers, these two are going to come together to make that middle term. So they're going to make 10. So which of the factor pairs can either add or subtract to make 10? Well, it's going to be 3 and 7, because 3 add 7 is 10. So we're going to have 3, 7. So actually what I've got is 0 is equal to x plus 3 or x plus 7. Now I know that some people like the x's being on the left hand side of the equation, so I'm just going to swap everything around by swapping the whole thing over. So the x plus 3, x plus 7 I'm going to put on the left hand side. And the 0 I'm going to put on the right. So now I know that I know that I've got a number times by a number is equal to 0. So either x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 7 is equal to 0 or both. And then it's two tiny little balance methods. So that means x take away 3 from both sides is negative 3, or x take away 7 from both sides is negative 7. So I'm going to go back to that little sketch that we did earlier. I'm just going to rub a bit out because it's in the wrong place really, because both of our x-intercepts are negative. So it's actually going to look like this instead. And this point here is minus 3 and this point here is minus 7. Okay, so we found, in fact we haven't finished because it says the coordinates. So the coordinate for this one would be minus 3 along the corridor up the stairs 0, and this one would be minus 7 along the corridor up the stairs 0. Now part B says find the line of symmetry. So if I go back and look at this up here, the line of symmetry is going to be smack in the middle. And it's crossing the x-axis, so at what point is x equal to what? And we know that it's going to be smack bang in the middle of minus 7 and minus 3 because there's symmetry there. So what number is in the middle of minus 7 and minus 3? So let's just look at it in a number line. Minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3. So I want the number that's smack bang in the middle of these. So if I go 1 that way, it's not those. 1 that way, 1 that way. It's actually going to be minus 5. Now another way of doing that would have been to minus 7, add minus 3 is minus 10, and then divide by 2 is minus 5. So you can add them together and divide by 2 to find the middle number. So the equation of the line, like I said earlier, it's x equals something because it's crossing the x-axis. It's x equals minus 5.